Yeah, I'm just really thrilled to welcome Christian back. He's a part of No Typical Moments. He works as a fractional CMO there. He's also an author and educator and a Forbes contributor, fun fact. He's previously held marketing roles at companies like TurboTax, ProFlowers, Real Age, and he's helped hundreds of companies launch new products and services. So I am thrilled to have him speak on organizing LinkedIn events to help your strategy along. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you. And by the way, I just want everybody to know that that last image that Jenna just showed of me, that is not a picture of me. That is an AI generated image of me. I used Headshot Pro, and you take selfies of yourself and then it turns it into a headshot that you can use.
Really?
So
Are you serious?
that's what that image is. So it looks like a younger, better looking image of me.
Oh my gosh, I have to do
It's
this.
Headshot Pro. Yeah. So I just wanted everybody to know. I
Hey,
just want to see the image again. No,
oh
no.
my, yes, let's behold.
So what it does is you have to take like 15 selfies of yourself, and then you can say, do you want yourself in an office environment? Do you want yourself in a suit? Do you want yourself? I said I want myself business casual in outside, and this is what it gave me.
Wow, incredible. Wait, is that your body too? Is that your head?
No, no, it's not. I do not look that good.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
This
some
is
of them made me
amazing.
very muscular.
That is so funny. I love it.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing
Yep.
your secret
So
with
I just
us.
thought I'd share. Okay. Now I'll share and dive into something a little bit more productive. No, that's productive too. Okay. So
That's
first of all, today's topic is 3 ways to promote your organization, your nonprofit using LinkedIn. And let's dive right in. A little bit about No Typical Moments. We are a marketing agency that helps companies, and we apply something that calls impact with profit methodology. So we only help companies that have a certain impact goal in mind, whether it be a nonprofit or a for-profit. And that was just a little bit about me. I also help nonprofits like Junior Achievement of Western Pennsylvania, the Hawaii Small Business Development Council, and others. Again, this image right here, not an image of me. That is another one from Headshot Pro. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, why LinkedIn? I almost don't need to tell everybody why LinkedIn. Everybody comes to me and says, "Here's why I would like to be on LinkedIn. Help me do that." But big picture, LinkedIn has 700 million users globally, and LinkedIn is 277% more effective at lead generation than Facebook and Twitter. One of the things that this is not talking about, the reasons why people want to be on LinkedIn or wants to figure out how to be on LinkedIn is because the individuals that you're targeting on LinkedIn, you could target, they're most likely high net worth individuals. So targeting donors that hold certain jobs or job functions is easier on LinkedIn than probably almost anywhere else. Okay. Also, you can see on the right-hand side the amount of features it has. Everything from the posting that you can do, connecting, messaging, inbox messaging. There's something called LinkedIn Leads. There's LinkedIn newsletters. There's LinkedIn articles, LinkedIn ads, talent insights, showcase pages, learnings, jobs, groups, navigator, services. There's all kinds of stuff on LinkedIn. I'm going to focus on just 3 of them today. LinkedIn events, LinkedIn newsletters, and LinkedIn Live. Okay. Um, oh, took away my own steam right here. So LinkedIn events, LinkedIn newsletters, and LinkedIn Live. So first of all, the concept behind LinkedIn events, and I'm gonna kind of set the stage here. The content is that LinkedIn events are holding an event on a repeated basis, not just once, but on a repeated basis, is a way for you to present content and information. Providing content and information builds trust and credibility that eventually will turn into loyal followers and donors. The concept is that you can have a LinkedIn event and you can say, I'm going to provide an hour's worth of content. to you, Mr. Potential or Ms. Potential Donor, come learn more about what we're doing. You can gain awareness by sending that message through LinkedIn. Then they come to a LinkedIn event page, they get interest, they listen to your event, they build up a desire, and then you can ask for the donation. I will say this with LinkedIn events, I do a lot of LinkedIn events, like a lot. And it's rare, I'm not saying it's a possibility, but it's rare that one event or one LinkedIn event will create the desire and action that you need. What we're finding is that it takes time to continually place that content in front of a new prospective donor before, like, they'll lurk, watch you for 4 or 5 months. And then it's the 6 month that they finally are like, I've been watching you for a while. I see you're real. You're saying everything that resonates with me. I want to be a part. I want to follow. I want to be loyal. I want to donate. So it's a long-term game. It's not a, I'm going to do an event and boom, there it all is. Just want to make sure that's clear. Okay, why use LinkedIn events? Number one, LinkedIn events is free. We all like free. It's a way for you to reach your audience, whether it's your audience specifically that has connected it to you via LinkedIn. Okay. It's also a way for you to reach your audience, meaning reaching out and targeting certain individuals that you have not yet had a connection with. Also, why LinkedIn events? LinkedIn gives events a priority, meaning that when you send messages or posts in LinkedIn, LinkedIn will probably give it a certain kind of, let's say, you post something in LinkedIn, maybe 5% of your posts actually make it to your intended audience. When you do LinkedIn events, it boosts that up, and probably 50 to 60% of your audience will see your message. So LinkedIn prioritizes the messages in events. Also, LinkedIn events is a way for you to continually place relevant content in front of somebody. So what I mean by that is, like what I said, is getting that message over time in front of somebody. It's that continuous message that's important. So I have a story. Lynn mentioned people remember stories, not bullets. So I have a story. You guys ever noticed, like in Super Bowl ads, especially Budweiser, the beer company, they have three different types of ads. They have an ad that's the king of beers. They have another one that's great taste, less filling. And they have another one which is freshness stamp, freshest beer. Three different messages. The concept is this, is that they're not sure exactly which message will get across to the potential customer. So they're going to put all three. You can do the same with LinkedIn events, meaning you can have a different topic each month and then change it up. So you could have maybe 4 topics a year and rotate those topics, because when you place a topic in front of a potential donor, you're not exactly sure if that's the right topic. So then the next month you put another topic in front of them. Okay, they're still interested, but not sure exactly. And then you put the third topic. They're like, okay, now you're hitting all these ideas, and they start realizing, okay, this is for me. So continually placing relevant content in front of somebody for free, targeting your audience, now becomes a very, very excellent communication method. It's also very easy to register. All they have to do is click on register now, and boom, they're registered. There's nothing to fill or complete. It's easy to communicate with the registrants outside of email. Oftentimes email is getting overwhelmed. So therefore, now you have a DM or a direct message in LinkedIn to an individual. You may be more likely to get a response than via email. An event, and especially if it's a new topic, it's a reason to contact new people. Maybe you've already contacted somebody in the past, but you're looking for another new reason. Well, just create a new topic and put that in front of them. Re-engagement, new relevant content. Oh, I already said that. Repurpose content. The other thing you can do is once you hold an event on LinkedIn, you have the video, you can turn that video of your event on Zoom into a blog, a podcast, newsletters, additional content. As a matter of fact, I use something called VideoTap. VideoTap.com. It's another AI platform. All you do is upload your video and you press one button. You give it about 8 minutes. And after 8 minutes, it will write you a blog, create video snippets with captions, create the tweets for X, change it to any language you want, and even provide you the content that you need to put in, like chapters in YouTube. With one button, you can do all of that. So once I'm done with LinkedIn events, I have the video, I upload it into VideoTap, and now I have ongoing content. Okay. All right. What is LinkedIn events? LinkedIn events allows people and organizations to create and promote for your event. You may already have an event that you're doing, a virtual or whatever, and this is just a way for you to promote it, which is great. You can do it as a webinar, a panel discussion. You can create a private event if you wish, a networking event, a mastermind. You can do whatever you want, right? Details. It could be, you can even promote if you want a physical event. So you can not in LinkedIn events, but you can use LinkedIn to promote an offline event should you want to. And then you can have the speakers, let's say you invite external speakers, the speakers can promote through their LinkedIn profile as well as you promote to your LinkedIn profile, which is beneficial. Okay, so it looks like this. This is the way I do it. By the way, there are many ways to do this. I do a lot of this. So if this isn't exactly what would work for you, but you want to discuss what could potentially work for you, reach out to me. Maybe we could hop on the phone for 15 minutes and look at your specific situation and figure out what might fit your specific situation. But this is the general gist. You create a LinkedIn event, you invite people in LinkedIn to your LinkedIn event. They say yes, right? You send out reminders to attend the LinkedIn event. On the day of the event, they attended on Zoom. That's what I do. So the LinkedIn event is just a way for them to register, but you're holding your virtual event on Zoom. Then you follow up with those people that attended on Zoom, just like you would in any normal virtual event. Today, I'm going to talk about the invitation, the creation of the event and inviting people, not so much the content of the event. Okay, so just out of curiosity, how many, just a show of hands, a lot of hands are already up, but show of hands, how many are already doing LinkedIn events? Okay, there's a few. Okay, so in LinkedIn, and I think I'm going to just show you in LinkedIn. One second. In LinkedIn, on your profile, you can see here's my profile here. You can scroll down over here on the left. You can see LinkedIn events, and you can go here. Or if you're on your profile here, you scroll down here, and you can see events, activities. See events right here? And then you can show all events. Boom. That's how you get to LinkedIn events. Okay. And if you want to create a LinkedIn event, what I do is right here, go to events, click on this plus sign, and boom, you're able to create an event. You want to upload an image, you go to, I don't know if I had an image ready to go. I don't have one right now. But all you do is upload your image. You say if it's online or in person, you put the event name. If it's online, you can do LinkedIn Live or external. What I do is I put a Zoom link, the start date, Here's where you put the Zoom link, the description, and then you invite the speaker, whoever that is, right? And that's it. You're done creating the event. When you're done with the event, it looks something like this. Here's an example of what an event would look like. So there's your image, there's your title and everything, and boom, you can see in this case, we have 273 registrants for this event on August 22nd. It's an online event. Here's another registration. Notice how I have two registrations. Number one is register in LinkedIn. So one of the challenges with LinkedIn is when you do get registrations in LinkedIn, which by the way, if you want to see the registrations in LinkedIn, I can just download right there and boom, there are all my registrations, okay? There are all my registrations, email addresses and everything. But oftentimes the email address that people have in their LinkedIn is a personal email address and not their business. Now, maybe you want that personal email address rather than the business. But I've noticed that when I also have another link, which is the registration for the event on Zoom, sometimes people give a different email address. So I end up with two email addresses. That's what I want. I know it sounds more cumbersome, but I prefer them providing me a new updated email address. So here's what happens is they don't know exactly who you are yet. So they're okay with just clicking on the button that says register for the event. They don't provide any information. It provides the email address that's in their profile in LinkedIn. And they feel comfortable with that. Once they get to know you a little bit more and they're ready to register on the Zoom event, then they give you their newest and best email address. That's what we find happen. Okay, so that's how you create it. Now, I can share or invite people to the LinkedIn event by just clicking on this button here and clicking on invite. I've already invited a lot of people to this event, but you can see here are two people I have not yet invited. All you do is click on these two buttons, or maybe it's hundreds of buttons, I don't know, and click invite. And boom, they're invited. It's that easy. And then what happens is LinkedIn prioritizes that invitation and serves a notification to that individual to attend the event. Okay. I don't stop there, but I just want to at least show you the basics of creating the LinkedIn invitation, which is click on event, create the invitation, the event, create the event here, and then you can send that the basic invitation. Now, let's say you want to send specific invitations to a targeted group of individuals. There are two ways to do that. One is using the free area of LinkedIn over here. The other one is using Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator is $90 a month and allows you to be very specific about who you invite. There's a cheat to do it for free. I'm going to show you both. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to show you Sales Navigator. All right. So first of all, let me back up. Let me show you right in Sales Navigator. I'm going to show you in my LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, you'll see if you have paid for Sales Navigator, which is $90 a month, you'll see a button right there. Sales Navigator is a way for you to search and target and connect with certain individuals. You can see it's like a search tool right here. I could say that I am looking for people in Philadelphia. I'm just making this up now, with a current job title of board member. Okay. I just found right now, let's see how many people, 4,000 individuals that are on a board of some sort in Philadelphia. I might even want to say, I want their company headcount to be around 200 to 1,000 people. Now it's found 1.5, and I could say I want them to be second degree connection, meaning I'm not connected to them yet, but I'm only 1 degree away from connecting with them. I found 678 individuals And you can see, well, maybe that's not the kind of board member I want. Oh, this person's perfect. I want to connect with that person. I want to connect with that person. You can save these individuals to a list. I created something called the board list. You create a targeted list of potential donors that you would like to reach out to. That's the concept. Then I'd have a leads list right here I would create, and then I can start reaching out to each one of them and invite them to the event with a personal invitation. So notice how I said personal invitation. We are all overwhelmed with spam, whether it be in email or in LinkedIn. The concept behind this is that you can send a personal invitation that says, hey, James, I'm specifically reaching out to you because I think this message would resonate with you. I would like to invite you to an event where we're discussing XYZ. Would you be interested in attending? Enter. Now I have a personal message with a relevant topic for that individual. That's the concept. Then you start seeing high engagement numbers. Okay. Now, that's one way to do it. Let's say you don't want to spend the $90 a month. There is another way to do it. I could simply go over to right here to my LinkedIn profile. I can type in Philadelphia. A lot of people don't realize this actually. Philadelphia board members. Enter. So it'll start doing a search right here for me. As a matter of fact, I have these filters across the top. I can click on that. I can say I want second degree. I want Philadelphia only. And I want to target people in professional services and technology and show results. Notice how it's very similar, not quite the same as what do you call it? Sales Navigator. Now I can start connecting directly with potential donors with a message about attending an event. Those are the two ways that I'm currently doing this messaging strategy. Okay. So once again, and I'm being very specific here, but I think that's what some people want to see is not just that you can do LinkedIn events, but what it actually looks like when you do it. So you can invite people free or with Sales Navigator. And then I showed you can also just do the invite with your first degree connections. So here's my message strategy. And by the way, I'm more than welcome to share with you the actual strategy in a document or this PowerPoint if you wish. But I actually sent a message that's right up front, telling them about I want to invite them to an event. So I say in my connection message, this is somebody I've never talked to or spoken with, or it's a cold outreach, really. I said, I'm hoping to connect with you because I would love to invite you to our, in this case, I wrote Marketing AI Roundtable. Our next topic is digitally cloning yourself. I thought you might be interested. Would you like an invitation? The reason why I asked them, would you like an invitation, is because when you're connecting with somebody on LinkedIn, you cannot include a link. So I say, would you like an invitation? And if they respond back with yes, which by the way, I get 50% responding back with yes. Yes, you heard that right. 50% are responding back with yes. Then I say, thank you for connecting. Here's a link to the upcoming event. We typically focus on blah, 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 blah. I hope you can join us. Then I put in the link to the event. Now I see another drop off there. So 50% are connecting. And then I see roughly another 50% will actually click on the button and register for the event. There's a drop off all the way, right? But still pretty high. Okay. Then after they register in LinkedIn, I already showed you how you can click on this download and you can just download all of the individuals. Also on this, you can see over here on the far right, you see true false. What that is LinkedIn has a button that says whether or not this person is allowing you to add them to your newsletter. So some are saying false, meaning I do not want my information. I do not want you to contact me about anything other than the event. True means I want you to contact me about this event, and go ahead and add me to your newsletter too. And I would love to hear more about everything that you're doing. And so that way you can add it to the newsletter, which is great. Okay, so that's great. Now you have a whole bunch of people registered for your event. I also message these individuals after they register. A few days prior to the event, I send them reminders. You can send them reminders in email because I have their email address here, right? Or so I take the list and I upload it into my email system to send them email reminders. Or I like to send them messages directly in LinkedIn. I saw you registered for the upcoming event. I look forward to seeing you. Do you mind just sharing what you're hoping to learn? I like carrying these presentations. In other words, it's not just that you're sending them a reminder, but you can engage these people in a conversation prior to the event. And that's what I like to do. Those that are more engaged prior to the event are more likely to convert and become a donor later. LinkedIn message number 2, I'm excited to see you at our event tomorrow. To make most of our, is there anything specific you'd like me to explore beforehand? Things like that are really powerful. In email, I take the email addresses. Either you can use Zapier and you can automatically take the information from, which I do a lot of, automatically from LinkedIn and upload it into your email system and automatically send email reminders, or you can just manually do it. Okay. And so I send an email reminder the day I actually send one a week prior, the day prior, and the day of. Okay. And for some companies, I do videos thanking them for attending, for registering for the event, and just mentioning I'm looking forward to actually seeing you on the event on that day. Okay, so that's just some things that you can do. I can send you what this looks like. Okay, so there we go. I want to mention something briefly here. There's a lot of steps in doing this. If you haven't done LinkedIn events before, I recommend you crawl before you walk and run, meaning just create a LinkedIn event, invite your network, send some connections and links, and manually do it. Just manually take their information on LinkedIn, automatically put it, manually put it in Zoom, manually put it in your email. Maybe even don't worry about the emails in the beginning. Just build an event to get your chops. Just get it done, if you will, right? What is it? Perfection is the enemy of done. Just get it done first. Then the walk is you can start using some automation software to connect and message the people. I'm going to show you what that looks like. The automation tool, there are many. There are many, many, many. I am using something called buzz.ai right now, and this enables you to like once you have that leads list that I showed you, whether it's in Free or Sales Navigator, it will automatically look for that individual in your list, and then it will send a message. Here's the message I'm using right now. My first message in this case, in my automated messaging, is without text. By the way, in some cases, not in all cases, but in some cases, I get a higher response when I have 0 messages in the connection message, like just nothing in there, nothing at all, just the standard LinkedIn message. And then I follow up with a thank you for connecting. I want to personally invite you to a monthly meeting specifically for HR executives. It's respectful leader update. The upcoming topic is blank, and here's the message, right? So, and then I send another link to the event here, and then a day. So this is a day after they connect. This is 3 days after they connect, and after this message, this is 3 days after this one. So there are automated tools that will help you reach out and connect to more people should you want that. And you can send, well, depending on your profile, but roughly 20 connection messages a day. For most profiles, you cannot do more than that. Once your profile becomes bigger and bolder, and you've been doing this a while, you can send up to 100 connection messages a day. But in the beginning, it's usually 20. Then, so that's the walk. Then on the run, it's using Zapier to take your registrations from LinkedIn and put them in your email system and sending out the email reminders and email post-event follow-ups and all that. So I recommend just manual process in the beginning, then start automating the outreach and then automate the reminders. Okay. Here are some examples of software tools that will automate the LinkedIn outreach for you. Expandy, Lemlist, Dripify, DuckSoup. I use DuckSoup and Buzz AI a lot, and I use all of them actually. But okay, so there we go. Next. So that's LinkedIn Events. LinkedIn Events is the tool that I'm seeing the most conversions and success with right now. The most. In other words, a lot of the other tools that I'm about to mention are great ways of you building interest and engagements, but aren't converting quite as high as LinkedIn Events. Okay, so the other two I'm going to talk about are LinkedIn newsletters and LinkedIn Live. The first thing you have to do in order to access newsletters and Live is turn on something called creator mode. You have to go into your LinkedIn profile and say, I want to be a creator. And then LinkedIn typically needs to approve you before you can use newsletters and LinkedIn Live. It's not a big deal. I think you do have to have a certain number of followers. If you have only 500 followers, they will not approve you. I think I want to say 1,500 followers or more that you need to have. I can't remember. Okay, why use LinkedIn newsletters? First reason is always my favorite. It's free. Number two is you can reach new people. So you can have a newsletter on your opt-in on your website, but that means that somebody needs to know about you first to go to your website to fill out that email address on your form on your website. This, people can start discovering you that never heard about you ever before, and you can start engaging with them with your content. So that's a real interesting point. You can also, just like with your other email newsletters, become a thought leader and build value, but you can also generate leads, and that's leads for donors. The newsletter also does this. It allows people to engage with your newsletter. So here's the newsletter, the late disrespectful show. And you can see people were totally engaged with discussing issues related to the topic on the left. You can't do that in your email newsletter. Totally can't do it. So that is what makes the LinkedIn newsletter quite different. Okay. So how do you do it? You have to go to your profile, make sure that creator mode is turned on. Then on the top of the page, you'll see it says write an article, which is confusing. You expect maybe to see something about newsletter, but it says write an article. Then you can create a newsletter option. You'll see the button that says create a newsletter option there. Then you can start writing a newsletter. Yes, you can take your newsletter content that you're doing in email and do it in LinkedIn. You could use the exact same content. What we do is different. For many of my clients, we do weekly LinkedIn newsletters and monthly email newsletters. A weekly newsletter in email seems to be a little too much for some people, where in LinkedIn it's okay. So we do weekly newsletters in LinkedIn, and then we take our best converting topics in LinkedIn and put them into the email newsletter. That's how we're doing it right now. Let me show you a little bit more. So I'm going to give you a little bit of behind, if you will. Let's see if I have it. Yeah, here's behind the curtain. Here's an example of a newsletter right now, and you can see people interacting with the newsletter. I can see how many people are commenting. You can see there's 11 comments on this specific topic. So with LinkedIn newsletters, I find that you can have a hot topic and not get a lot of trolls, where in Facebook you would. You can have that because your newsletter is specifically targeting and you're accepting people that are where that topic is relevant to them. So you're able to have really good discussions on a topic there without having nefarious individuals come in and causing problem, if that makes sense. Okay. Also, I need to set expectations on newsletters. A lot of people all of a sudden expect them to get 100,000 newsletter subscribers. That's not the case. You will get you will get some newsletters subscribers, but you have a lot of competition. There's a lot of people doing newsletters, LinkedIn newsletters out there. So it's not easy to get a lot. I'm going to show you how many you can possibly get. Here are some real numbers. What happens is you're going to get an impression. So the impressions go up over time. So you have to look back in here. So you can see we got 1,100 impressions, and then you can see the number of reactions, which is a like or a thumbs up, thumbs down, a smiley face, and then the number of comments, and then the number of shares. So you get that kind of reporting. The reporting is really a pain in the butt to get to. To get to that spreadsheet I showed you, I have to log into every single newsletter manually, look it up, and take the information and manually log it into the spreadsheet. But we're able to get it. And then you can evaluate over time, am I getting the kind of response rates, the engagement that I want in order to continue forward? Okay, so that's LinkedIn, what do you call it? LinkedIn newsletters. So I think I'm going to stop here before going into LinkedIn Live because I have not been paying attention to the Q&As and chats. So maybe I could dive in a little bit more into answering some questions before moving on to this next. Okay, first of all, Q&A. Do your invitations count against your in-mail numbers? The invitations, the answer, first of all, no. There are two different types of invitations. One is, you know, when I showed you, you go into LinkedIn events and you click on invite and you can invite a whole ton of people at once. That does not go against your in-mail numbers at all. And I've been trying to figure out exactly how many you can invite at a time. It appears that you can invite hundreds, maybe 150 at a time every day. So what I was doing is logging in each day and inviting about 120 people. So it would take me a couple of weeks to really invite a significant number of individuals. So sometimes I noticed in some profiles, so let me explain this. Profiles that have been doing LinkedIn events for a long period of time, LinkedIn is allowing you to send more invites than an individual that's brand new at LinkedIn events. Somehow or another, their AI system, LinkedIn's AI system, knows the difference between certain profiles. So for some profiles, I can invite 200 people at a time. For others, I can only invite 100 at a time. That makes sense there. But no, it does not go against your in-mail numbers. What is Sales Navigator used for? What has it have to do with fundraising events? Okay, so for Sales Navigator, I think I was showing you, if you have a certain target audience that you would like to invite into a fundraising event and you have a very specific type of individual in mind, you can target those individuals. That's all there. How does the LinkedIn event invitation come through for the individual on LinkedIn? Heather, really, really good question. There's two ways. So I need to show my screen on this one. On the LinkedIn event, there are two ways that you're going to get an invitation. If you click on just the invitation button, oftentimes it shows up here. sometimes it shows up here, but not, and so you can see these are just regular messages. It'll show up as a, it doesn't show it up here. It'll show up in your notifications, or it'll show up in your email if you have it turned on and you can see an invitation to the event. Okay, I don't think I have any invitations here. Here's an invitation to a newsletter, not to an event. You can see invitations. So that's the reason why I like to also send an invitation in a direct message. So that way it shows up in this messaging section as well, if that makes sense. LinkedIn events that I've attended have no visual interface, and the standard LinkedIn tiny cramped chat window. Okay, so John Weiss, so LinkedIn events is only a registration platform. Typically, I use a different platform to host the event, meaning I'm using Zoom or Microsoft Meetings or Google Meet rather than LinkedIn itself. So if there was no visual interface, that means there was some other platform that individual is using, because LinkedIn events really is just this.
Oh, Chris, I think you accidentally muted yourself there.
Thank you. Okay, so what else? Any other?
Could you
We'll
just
have
go back?
the.
Oh, sorry, just the last part of what you said was cut off.
What was it? What was I talking about? Was I talking about the interface? Oh, so LinkedIn events itself is just the registration. It's still however you're hosting it, whether it's Zoom, Google Meet, or whatever, that platform you still have to choose. We'll talk about LinkedIn Live in a little bit, but anyway, what else? What tips do you have to increase the number of followers? So my tip to increase the number of followers is to use an event to ask them to attend the event. And once they do, then you had to ask them to follow you. So LinkedIn, that's one. Now, keep in mind, followers is different than the events. You can increase followers, but it doesn't mean that they're necessarily the right piece of people to attend the event. Kind of two separate things. There are other strategies to increase followers, which I'm going to leave for another time. Or Alice, I'm going to take. I'll send you a separate document just about increasing followers. Any recommendations for finding, collecting donor demographics? I'm not able to find and collect donor demographics within LinkedIn that I know of right now. Please do a webinar for a pre-launch startup. Pre-launch startups? Oh, could you do a webinar for a pre-launch startup? Yes, absolutely, you could. Easily. Actually, it's a very, very good idea to do that, to build up a intense following of individuals that might be interested in your product or service. So when you do launch, you got them ready to go. I did that for one company, and we did 3 events over 3 months. And then we built up a stable of email addresses and followers. And then when we launched, we sent an email saying, okay, log into the product now. Okay, next. So LinkedIn Live. Okay, why LinkedIn Live? Okay, a lot of people get confused between LinkedIn events and LinkedIn Live. LinkedIn Events is a platform to register. LinkedIn Live is being able to get new people to log in and watch your presentation. Okay, why LinkedIn Live? First one is it's free, as long as you have creator mode turned on. But you can broadcast, let's say you have your LinkedIn event and you have 180 registrations already pre-registered. On the day that you are broadcasting your event, let's say it's noon on East Coast time on Friday, then you can launch this event and it will show up in people's feeds as click here to attend this event. And it will launch into, let's say if you're using Zoom, it will still launch people into your Zoom event and people can watch your LinkedIn Live. What happens, and the reason to do it is you can get an extra, I want to say 20 to 25% more people attending your event than without doing LinkedIn Live. So if you have, let's say you have 200 people registered to your event and attending, you might get an 240 or an extra 40 people to watch your event. That's what I've been seeing right now. So it's kind of, it live streams your event to more people into LinkedIn. Okay. So, I typically, you remember I was showing the crawl, walk, run? I don't like to do LinkedIn Live until I'm closer to the run stage because it gets a little complicated in making it happen. But as you can see, when you do it, it's pretty cool, right? So you can see on the right-hand side, an individual maybe they're out and about and they're checking their LinkedIn on their phone and it says, join this webinar or this event, and they're like, yeah, I'll do it right now. And it clicks and boom, they can see the event and they can see all the comments and people talking about it right there and then. That's the concept. There are buttons within Zoom that enable you to stream to LinkedIn Live as long as you have LinkedIn Live set up properly in the back end. Okay, so it integrates Zoom to LinkedIn. You connect the tool to LinkedIn, connect Zoom to LinkedIn. You create the LinkedIn event and you set up your live stream and go. So there's some steps that you need to follow. To do LinkedIn Live, you need to have a streaming tool. Those streaming tools are, you see this down here, Restream, Social Live, StreamYard, which is the most popular, Switcher Studio, or Zoom or WebEx. So I'm using Zoom most of the time, so I use Zoom as my streaming service for LinkedIn Live. Okay. And yes, you go into the back end of Zoom and you need to set up the ability to live stream your event into LinkedIn. So you can see here, I can live stream into Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, but then I need to set up a custom live stream into LinkedIn, and you need to follow the steps. So if you get stuck here, let me know. There are certain steps. You just simply have to follow each one at a time. Nice, be patient and just do it right. If you do it wrong, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you cause a problem with your main event. It just means that it doesn't get streamed. And that happens, that typically happens the first time I ever try to live stream an event. The first time I try, there's always some technical issue that doesn't work quite right. Then the second time I get it right. Okay, you can see the amount of details both Zoom and LinkedIn ask. So you can see that right here, there's this configuration setup to stream your information. It's not really that complicated once you do it. You just got to make sure you set it up in order to go live. Then you can go live. Then you can take advantage of getting additional new people onto your event. That makes sense. Okay, that's that's a little bit of a recap. Has anybody, just a show of hands, has anybody done LinkedIn live streaming or streaming of any sort? Jane, I think said you did. Oh, okay, yeah. It not yeah, okay, not yet. Okay, again, do your event, do your virtual event first. Do that for a few months or a few tries, then add the streaming service. And if you get stuck, reach out to me. All right. Um, uh, a lot of this can get it's there. Each company may have, or each nonprofit may have some unique situations that need to be understood. I oftentimes will sit down with a client and in 15 minutes will understand changes that or how to implement this. So if you wish to just hop on the phone for 15 minutes, I am more than welcome to do that. I'll put a little form um, in the chat. And what I would do is I would get on, understand what you're trying to do, understand the kind of event you would have. When we would look at what's the proper implementation of that, I could guide you to do that yourself. Or if you wish to use our services, that's fine. Um, oh, do you have a team of people helping you when you stream the events? Not sure how difficult to manage it. Erica, I do. That's the one time when I need help is when I'm streaming. Because when I'm doing an event, hosting an event, I have the registrations, I have the Zoom, I have this, I have everything going. Adding the streaming is one level of complication that all of a sudden kind of breaks me a little bit. So I have an extra person helping me whenever I live stream, and their job is just to make sure that the live stream is going well, um, just to make sure, right?
Yeah, thank you so much for going through that. I think there are some other open questions in the Q&A.
Oh, thank you. What kind of content information are you presenting in the LinkedIn event? How do you identify your audience beforehand if you're not already connected with those individuals? Um, so Junior Achievement of Western Pennsylvania, they're interested in identifying CEOs or business leaders in their community. And they want to relate to those business leaders the importance of educating young people. When I say young people, that is everything from grade school, elementary school, high school, educating them on how they business opportunities in their region, right? So we identify content that these business owners or business leaders may be interested in. What they're interested in is an educated workforce. So we have educated workforce content. And then we create an example would be a 3-month series of information on that topic with potentially other people speaking on the topic other than somebody at Junior Achievement. Then we identify and do a list of individuals by doing a sales navigator search on business owners that are active in participating in that topic. And we can do that by identifying board members that sit on board seats, CEOs, and or follow certain groups in LinkedIn. There's something called LinkedIn groups. If they belong to a certain nonprofit group or something of the sort, then we think that maybe they might be interested in the topic. And then we reach out to them. So it's topic, I mean, you got to really fully understand your target audience and your donors, but then you build the topic around that, and then you do your outreach. In what ways does lead generation work? I'm not sure exactly the question there. In what ways does lead generation work? So once the individual attends the event, I consider them a lead. So they're sort of a lead when they register, And if they say yes to receiving email communications, then they're put into the CRM, and I send them constant communication, and they're the lead. But I really consider them a lead once they've engaged, either direct message me that they're really interested in the topic, or they have attended the event. Once they've done one of those two things, I have an individual reach out to them, not automation, but an individual reach out to them, whether it be a phone call or a direct message saying, what did you think of the event? Does this resonate with you? Would you like to talk a little bit more? And then we get them on the phone, and then we turn them into a donor. So that's on a large scale donor platform. What is Sales Navigator used for? What does it have to? I answered that one, I think. What does it have to do with fundraising events, which is getting them to understand your content and what resonates with them, and then it gets them intrigued in what you're offering, and then you convert them. Because if we get the slide deck, can we use your email structure? Obviously not word for word. Yeah, I can, Heather. I can also give you the wording in a Word doc. I have it in a Word doc if you want me to, and I can send it to you. If anybody wants a Word doc of the actual crafted emails, I can send it over to anybody. I'm willing to share. Chris seems to have a great website tool. Any recommendation for flying and collector donor? I already mentioned that. This is not, LinkedIn doesn't give you anything specific about donors, I don't believe. Please do a webinar for freelance startups. Yes, I mentioned that. I'm asking Cosvox to do webinar. Oh, yeah, got it, John. How does streaming go live work with paying ticketed events? I don't think it works. Whelan, you can't do that. That doesn't work, right? So if you're doing a live stream and it's only to people that have paid, two different things. I wouldn't do LinkedIn Live for paying ticketed events, in my opinion. I sent that question before into search. Okay, really helpful. Thank you. What donor level would justify a one-on-one? Oh, I'll let you decide that one, John. What level would justify a one-on-one call? I mean, so you can, with LinkedIn, go through, we don't have enough time, but you can go through the LinkedIn profile of the individual that has attended and probably identify what level donor that individual might be. And then you would have to decide. That's a human decision. You got to look and decide, okay, does this deserve a one-on-one call, or do I simply send them an email or a message saying, please click here to donate? I'll leave that up to you. What I do, I'm going to share one other idea just because we have just a couple of minutes. I take the LinkedIn profile of somebody, I download it. By the way, I don't know if people know this or not, but you can go to anybody's LinkedIn profile and you can click on more. You can save it to a PDF. Here's the PDF, a PDF of me. You can go into ChatGPT. You can upload that, see if it's saved. You can upload the LinkedIn profile into ChatGPT, and you can ask ChatGPT, based off of my product or service, right here, you can upload the profile. This is my LinkedIn profile. You can ask for some information about it. Provide me the disc profile, for example. You can even say, ChatGPT, based off of my product and service and nonprofit that I'm offering, what is the best way to approach this individual? And you upload their LinkedIn profile, and chat will give you some ideas of how to approach and sell or ask for a donation from that individual if they're a large scale, if they're a high enough end potential donor.
Wow, that is incredible.
No.
Also, fun fact, I just happened to schedule this session until 12:30 by an amazing. My
Oh, okay.
animation amazing feat that I did. So you're welcome to stay on as long as you'd like. Share any other insights you may have.
Do pe-
Or
do
if
more
you
do more
also,
people want? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Jenna.
I was also going to say, whenever you do have to leave, that's totally fine. Totally up to your schedule.
Do
Um,
more people want to see how to use ChatGPT in that specific situation? Okay, I've seen, yeah, okay. People want to see that. Is that okay, Jenna? I'll share it specifically.
yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Um, okay. So, would one person mind in chat putting a URL for their nonprofit, and I'll use them as an example? Okay, let's see if I got it. Um, okay, here we go. Now this is live, so bear with me. This may
This
not
is
work, right?
amazing.
Okay, so this is what I typically do to help chat also help me develop content for events. I build a structure and I have ChatGPT build something for me. So let me just create a new one real quick. I say, tell me about, I want to make sure that ChatGPT first can identify this company. Okay, organization dedicated to supporting individual with narcolepsy, chronic neurological disorders. Okay, great. Um, who is their target audience? Okay, now it's going to tell me blah 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 blah. All right. So individuals, their families, caregivers, provide a marketing segmentation. See if this works. Oh, that's not really what I wanted. Okay, provide me a marketing persona for, and I'm going to say a family member. So a marketing persona is a fictional representation of the individual. Oh, you know what I may want to do is instead provide me a marketing persona for a potential donor. Okay, Dave Thompson, 55 years old, CEO of a mid-sized tech company in San Francisco. So now, if I wanted to do targeting in LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I would go through and identify CEOs of mid-sized companies in San Francisco. I couldn't do married with children and I can't do age in LinkedIn, but I can do these two things. Right? Then I could even go on and say, oh God, there's so many things. What marketing? Oh, notice down here, it does their messaging approach that might work for this potential donor right here. You see that? But I want a little bit more than that. Provide, oops, I'm doing this live. I have a specific set of prompts that I use to build this, and I'm not following it perfectly, and I can send that to anybody who wants it. But here's the concept. I would say, provide me a messaging strategy for this persona that includes benefits, motivators, and a unique selling proposition. I spelled it wrong, but luckily chat doesn't care. So now it's providing me um, the benefits that we might want to emphasize to this specific donor. Okay, benefit motivator. So the what I explained on the benefit side. So let me explain here. So you guys, I know, imagine you selling this pencil. You probably guys have heard this a million times. Okay, so this pencil is a number two pencil. So there's a feature, advantage, and a benefit of this number two pencil. The feature is that it has number two lead. The advantage of having number two lead is that it writes darker. The benefit of it writing darker is that it's easier to read. People buy a number 2 pencil because it's easier to read on Scantron forms, right? So people buy benefits, not features. That's the reason why I always ask the prompt of provide me benefits. Then I say benefits alone aren't going to get people to respond and become a donor. You need to have a motivator, personal connection, legacy building, community and engagement, right? And what's the unique selling proposition that this organization has as it relates to that? And then it will actually provide you an email subject line, email body, etc., social media post, phone scripts, the whole bit, right? Then I can say, I would like to create a 3 virtual events in LinkedIn. What are some potential topics this persona would be interested in? So now I'm getting ideas, and again, this is AI, so it's not a fact generating machine, and it's not better than a human brain. It's just to help you get some ideas and use it as a brainstorm tool. So now I'm coming up with ideas. I could have advancements in narcolepsy research, the power of philanthropy, making difference in the lives. And so these are 3 potential ideas for three events each month, right? So I can come up with these ideas. So now I have 3 events. I know who to target, and I can build out my campaign. I can keep on going and say, provide me 10 possible individuals possible URLs of individuals that may fit this persona. I'm actually going to ask it to give me individuals that we might want to target. I don't think people realize it can do that. So here's giving me specific individuals I might want to reach out to. Well, these are pretty big companies, right? Saying reach out to the CEO of Asana or Barbara Corcoran or whatever. That I don't know that that's helpful. Provide me individuals that are more that have experience with let's see if it does. I'm not sure if it will. You get the idea. I'm not going to dive too much into it, but I use ChatGPT as a brainstorm tool to start helping me identify content ideas and who to target. I have a list of prompts, and I'll share it with you, that help me brainstorm. I call this my Sunday morning coffee. So what I do is I sit down with a coffee on Sunday mornings because I'm less likely to get interrupted by by emails and whatever, right? So I sit down with my coffee and I just start brainstorming uninterrupted for 3 hours. And after 3 hours, I come up with my topics and who I'm targeting. So I hope that helps a little bit. Keep in mind, I just want to reemphasize. I know I just got to reemphasize. I think that AI enables us to be more human. So rather than you spending hours and hours and hours and becoming exhausted thinking through gathering this information, AI can gather some of the information for you so you can spend more time thinking through how to make it work better. So that's the reason why I say AI enables you to be more human. Spend less time doing the dirty work and gathering the information, more time thinking it through, instead of spending all your time gathering the information and then spending only a little time thinking it through. That's the concept.
This is incredible. Have you seen the comments in the chat? I am losing my mind. I love that, Heather.
Um,
Um, yeah, go ahead.
I do have the prompts and I can share it with you, Jenna, if you want to share it
Yeah.
with the team. Again, it's just prompts to get people to think it through. As a marketer, it just helps sometimes you don't even realize, you mean I can ask AI to do that? Yes, you can. And once you see it on the list, you start entering it in. I'm sharing everything, guys. I just really want to help you all out. This actually will step you everything through, but you can see here, you can just grab the copy right here on the follow-up messages if you want. I wouldn't use these exactly, but it might give you enough to go on, you know, customize it for yourself. And then there's also for the free strategy session, if you want to schedule, like last time I did this, I had like 30 strategy sessions. So if you fill out this form and I do not get to you right away, please know I have you in mind and I will get to you. I promise. Because I just really do want to help.